What's going on, fellow Z Warriors? Mr. Waffles here. We're here with Brendan Ackerson's updated Set 2 Namek and Piccolo deck. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to go through the deck, and then he's going to explain his deck choices and why he played the cards that he did. So first he was playing all 7 Dragon Balls. His Piccolo MP and Mastery. 2 black Overhead Burst, which is from the new set. 3 black Hug Maneuver. 3 black Defensive Burst. For setups, he played 3 black Searching Technique. 3 black Power Up, 2 black Declaration, 2 Visiting the Past, 1 Dragon Radar, and of course 3 Smoothness Drill. And then for blocks, obviously that's the 1 Time, the 3 black Corruption, 3 black Swipe, 3 black Speedy Dodge. For physical stops, we got 3 black Knee Catch, 3 black Finger Block, and the MVP, Black Foreshadowing. 3 black Command, 3 black Reflection, 3 Piccolo's Weighted Clothing, 3 Confrontation, and the 1 Scout Maneuver. So, explain to me certain deck choices, why like certain like things like 1 Scout Maneuver or, you know.
Well, in reality, the 1 Scout Maneuver is because we forgot to put Confrontation in until the last minute. But I've often found that Scout Maneuver can be dead late game, or if you need to enter combat and you have a Scout Maneuver in your hand, it's not really a live card. It's just a, it doesn't do anything for that combat. It helps you win in the long run, and it's really good against certain decks, so it's good to have like 1 or 2 copies, but I found 3 is just excessive. It's being dead hands.
Awesome.
Especially with all the setups in the deck, you want to discard those with the Mastery, not the...
So what about certain cards like Black Foreshadowing? How do you find this card to work out for you?
Black Foreshadowing is basically a Destructor Disc for any black deck now. The card is sort of stoppable, but it just basically says at the end of the game you play it, deal 4 to 5 damage to your opponent.
Yeah.
They don't endure.
Yeah. And that's pretty much. I mean, you also have a lot of events. So there are 3. Even if you get feared 3 times, it's still not enough for the most part because you have time. You have just so many events. So even the 3 sphere can't really hold you back from.
If they go sphere on the Black Foreshadowing, that meant they were holding it the entire game, and then you don't really care because it's basically a -1 the entire game, or they didn't sphere your Black Reflection, which is still an amazing win condition for the deck.
Yeah.
You just grab their best card and wait until they have no blocks and you go swing.
Now, what's your main goal with this deck? Is it to...
you just pass a lot. Whenever they enter combat, you go 4 damage, heal 1, or heal 2 off the Piccolo level 2.
Yeah.
And you sort of just sit there until you can kill them with a Black Foreshadowing.
Now, why all 7 Dragon Balls? Is that...
well, because of Piccolo level 2, you get access to a crit effect, so it's very easy just to grab the Dragon Balls back when your opponent uses them.
So it's kind of like the Krillin aspect, so that's why you play like all these anger cards like, I guess, Hug Maneuver and Overhead Burst and the Weighted Clothing, obviously, to just level up and stuff like that.
Yeah, just get to level 2 quick. So you can control the Dragon Balls, or even then, like the Piccolo level 2 is just broken. So
and this deck seems to do a lot of like inherent damage.
A lot between like Piccolo level 1, Piccolo level 2, and Black Corruptions. You do a lot of damage without having to really try. It's not like an extreme amount of damage, but it builds up over the course of the game.
And basically, like, since you're not really attacking, a lot of their blocks would be dead, and
you heal a lot because you're Piccolo.
Yeah.
So it fixes one of the problems Black can have sometimes, that when it takes a lot of damage at one time, it has a hard time like just keeping up with its deck. But Piccolo fixes that because it heals.
Now, why 2 Black Declaration as opposed to 3?
We had to, but a fancy answer would be it can be cloggy against decks that don't have a lot of board presence. It just sort of just sits there. They're waiting to do something. Like, you do have the utility of shuffling your own cards back, but even then, it's not really...
Like, gain that much value, because it's really for your opponent.
Yeah, it's really just get a problem card, like getting rid of the Saiyan setups, or your opponent's cool Dragon Ball.
Yeah.
But, But in the matchups, it's really good. It's really good. I just don't feel like, but I don't feel it makes up for the matchups that it's really bad.
And 2 is a good number. I mean, like,
Yeah.
at the same time, it's not banished after use, so you could always just rejuvenate it back and reuse it again.
And it's a setup, so even though you can discard to the mastery to get it board, it still can be a dead draw. If you draw a lot of setups and things, it's just like, well.
Yeah. So, yeah, it seems like this deck worked out wonders. I mean, even though you don't run that many attacks, it seems at the same time you just have
well,
Piccolo.
You got Piccolo.
Yeah.
Piccolo just says, like, attack.
Yeah, so for 4 and 1 every turn is pretty good. And, you know, yeah, it seems very solid. I mean, Black
Foreshadowing for one of their attacks if you really need one.
Yeah, and it also helps you, I guess, in the physical beatdown matchups too, because you also gain stages.
You gain stages, yeah.
Which is really such a bonus in Endurance 3. So that card is definitely just ridiculous.
Set 2 fixed one of the biggest problems the Black deck had, and that was it didn't really have a lot of endurance. Like it had endurance, like 1 endurance on a lot of cards, but it didn't have like a lot of big endurance, like endurance 3 or endurance 4. Well, it doesn't have endurance 4. But now it has endurance 2 on the Declaration, endurance 3 from the Black Foreshadowing, and a lot of the cards say endurance 1, so you should be able to like take a hit at like 5 or 6 life cards, and you shouldn't get critted.
And since you're Piccolo, you don't care about being wall breakered because you can just sit on level 1.
Right, yeah. Level 1 Piccolo is so good that you don't actually care if you're on it the whole game. Like, there's very few matches where you're like, I have to be at 2. You just sit on the 1 and swing and force the block. And not care.
And then eventually, you know, they're going to run out. They're going to only have so many energy blocks.
Eventually, they're going to take it because, like, most people aren't going to realize that you have no energy attacks in your deck. So you're going to go attack, and they're going to hold it. They're like, okay, he has to have a bigger energy attack because normally Black has a bigger energy attack, but we don't.
Yeah,
So,
stuff like that. So good. It's like not so much being on the offensive, but being, I guess, very passive aggressive. Probably like the best way to.
Just passive, waiting, and just waiting, and eventually they deck out and you win.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome. So thanks again for the deck list, and hopefully we will see you guys soon. Oh, not you guys, but you soon, and some upcoming tournaments and stuff like that. So thanks again. Again, this is Brendan Ackerson with his Black Piccolo deck. So until next time.